Hi, this is Farstar, and this is a review of the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Decade or Kamen Rider Neo Decade. So this is the packaging. It looks like Kamen Rider Decades, but slight difference in the tilt. We have the 20 Kamen Rider Kicks logo right here, the Tamashii seal of quality, Bandai Collector Shop, Tamashii Editions, and then the Bandai Blue logo. We have the name Kamen Rider Decade Neo Decadriver version, SH Figuarts on top, and then at the bottom, and then what it looks like on the side, and then at the back poses, and also letting you know that this is a updated version of Kamen Rider Decade because of the Neo Decadriver in pink. So let's open the box so I tell you more about the figure inside, and let's compare him with the original version. The Destroyer of Worlds returns to the SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou line, now with the updated Neo Decadriver. This version of Kamen Rider Decade has a darker shade of magenta while retaining the same body type. His Neo Decadriver has all 18 Heisei Rider emblems arranged from Kuga to build in clockwise position, and the actual holder for the driver has changed from gray to black. The set includes 8 hands, the open version of the Rider card reader holder, and Rider book and sword, gun, and default modes. It also includes 20 Rider cards from Kuga to Zi-O, and the Blast / Illusion, Invincible, and Blank Rider cards. So side-by-side comparison between the original Decade version and the Neo Decadriver version, as you can see, it almost looks like it's the same mold, but there are slight differences aside from the belt. The color for the difference between the color, this one is darker, and you can see the comparison right about here. This one has a darker shade of magenta, bordering to maroon, sort of, or red, deep dark red. And then although the head sculpt is almost the same, but however on the Neo Decadriver version, it seems like the lines in between the face is quite nearer or closer together than the original version. And if you can take a look also, the X cross section in the chest, if you can take a look right about here, the gap becomes smaller and smaller, while this one is consistent from the shoulders down to the lower part or the upper part of the abdomen. And I can confirm that you can really see all of the logos of all Kamen Riders on the Neo Decadriver. However, you need a magnifying glass to really appreciate it. I'm on glasses. So I do need a magnifying glass in order for me to appreciate the paint that went through all 19 rider logos are surrounding this. And then the belt does work the same way, and then the lower part of the torso or the legs are almost the same thing. It's just that it's just weird that it should have been like a repaint if they really wanted to, but how the cross sections are in comparison between the two, they're totally different way of how they painted it. I'm thinking something like a QC, but the lines are really fine on the Neo Decadriver. So articulation points will always be the same because they share the same joint system. So you have the shoulder pads that go in and out. You have the head and neck articulation for all Shinkocchou Seihou versions. Upper torso and waist, the belt is loose from the waist. We have leg articulation too, upper thigh swivel right here, but yeah, we have one, and then we have double jointed knees, an ankle joint right here, and a toe joint right there. So there are some questions if this belt can fit into Kamen Rider Zi-O. Yes, you can. However, when you this one is very small for Zi-O, so you can put it in, but you'll have a struggle quite a bit, and you have to be careful for the belt not to snap off the Kamen Rider Zi-O. Zi-O, I think, has a wider waist rather than Kamen Rider Decade. So those are the things that you need to know about Kamen Rider Decade Neo Decadriver version. As you can see, the shade of magenta surrounding Decade is uneven. The upper torso color is lighter than the rest of the body. The cross-section on the chest seems to be painted differently as well. The figure's articulation is the same, so that is a good sign. You do not need to worry about the Neo Decadriver's color, as I've checked online and it is almost accurate. I mentioned this as well, that the driver can be used with GO, but it will not be a perfect fit, and I do not dare doing it since the belt itself is somewhat very delicate to handle. And that is my review of the SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Decade Neo Decadriver version. If you want to know the possibilities and details of the figure, do check out the photos at the end of the video, and don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more SH Figuarts reviews.